All right. It is the biggest trade I have had on 2018 so far. I just locked in a total of $27,000, 647. So 27,647 bucks. You guys could see this, right from my TD Ameritrade account right here. I'm not even, sure if my account number is on this right now. Hopefully it's not, but you guys can just, see that gain right there. And that was from PXS. And this stock right here is even starting to move on up. Why did I get out? I will tell you right now. I got out of this play because looking at it, what I was seeing right here was a potential head and shoulders pattern, which I got a little nervous on. I got nervous on the head and shoulders pattern. Right now, I think you guys are looking good, and I actually may hop back in on this. But PXS, we've already talked about shippers for the past, month now, preparing for shipping season. We've been talking about shippers for the past few months, preparing for shipping season, and we know November shippers love to rip, shippers love to run, shippers love to climb. I've done it a million times. I'm going to do it one more time. PXS, we scroll back to last November. What happened on this play? It went on a very big rip and run. DCIX, we look at this play. We see November starting to get a little hot right now. We scroll back to last year. What happened? Very big rip, very big run. We can scroll back to the year before that. What happened on this play? Very big rip, very big run. TOPS, another big shipping play, getting a little bit hot right now. And what do we see on this play? TOPS starting to get a nice activity. Last November, nice rip, nice run. We can scroll back a little bit farther and we could say to ourselves, hey, you know what? We have this November, nice rip and nice run. PXS moving back on up right now, ladies and gentlemen. The reason I got out of PXS is because I saw that head and shoulders pattern. I saw this. This is what I started seeing form. And I got a little nervous as I saw a shoulder, I saw a head, and I saw the shoulder coming right here. And I was nervous it was going to dump back down towards around 268. Now, my main goal on this play was going to be to try to hold this all the way until tonight for a big gap up tonight, which I still think is going to happen, to be honest. And then from the gap up, maybe sell tomorrow and be able to lock in my profit. But this little drop right here, right when I saw like 298, 296, that's when I got nervous because I thought it was going to drop all the way down to 270. So I locked in my profit right here. But let's talk about why did I get in on PXS? Let's talk about that. Why did I get on PXS? Well, the first thing, to make it very simple for everyone, finviz.com. We know now shippers like to run, of course, in November. And we're going to talk about why they run in a second. But we all know shippers like to run in November. So I'm going to go to a quick little screener, free screener on finviz.com. Go to price underneath $10. Industry, I want to go to shipping. So we are going to scroll down right here. And we're going to go right to the shipping sector. Boom. And now what we're going to do, click ownership. And we're going to filter it out by float. So now we know November is coming up, or today's the first day of November. We have underneath $10, and we're also filtering out by the lowest float stocks. We have number 1, number 2, number 3. GLBS is number 1, but that's a little bit pricier. That's with the $6, and now it's all the way up to $9 per share. And number 2, PXS, it was only $2 per share. Why do I pick the lowest float stock? Because again, the float is the shares offered to the public. Lower the float, higher the demand, the bigger the rip, right? Now we know going into November, we are going to have a high demand for shipping stocks. We see it every year, as we just showed you guys on the pattern. And if we want to, we can look at GLBS. I bet you GLBS is doing pretty well right now. GLBS, we look at this play. Again, has gone from $6 all the way up to $12. Let's see what it did last year. As we know, November, boom, nice big play. Okay, let's go back to the year before that. What do we have on November? Boom, nice big spike. Every November. Now, why? Why are we seeing these nice big spikes? Why are we seeing these nice big rips on November? Number one has to do, a lot of people say it's the holidays. Shipping stocks, a lot of people are ordering. A lot of people are seeing, these shipping businesses are getting a lot of basically business, you would want to say, and that's going to obviously raise their prices. They're going to be worth more if they're getting a lot more business to their name. That could be one reason. Number 2, more of a reason that I believe is the elections. In November, we usually get some sort of election where there's going to be very strong political, men and women speaking on the changes they want to make. And that could be, reaching out with global trades. And that could definitely, warm up the shipping sector. So a lot of times during November, during elections, we start seeing, these shipping stocks really move very hard as well. Now, since they've also been moving, the number three reason on why they move is it also has just become kind of a day trader thing where we say, hey, every November, get ready for the penny stock, shipping season. And if I say that, and you say that, and Fred says that, and Mark says that, and Janet says that, and everyone says that, guess what? Everyone's focused on shipping stocks, right? So every single year now, everyone kind of just goes down to the shippers every single November because that's what's been happening for the past few years. So everyone kind of already knows where to go. So what have a lot of people been doing? A lot of people have been buying shipping stocks, let's say October 31st or October 30th or something like that, and they've just been holding, getting ready for November. Now, today's November 1st. Today's the first day of shipping season, and we're already seeing PXS get, some nice rips right here. We're also seeing, GLBS get on a nice rip right here, and these could just be starting on up. Now let's not forget, we have many other shipping plays. ESEA is the number three, lowest float right here. It already did go on a little bit of a rip, but this could potentially, round its way back on up and possibly get a nice big rip in the near future. So ESEA may be like a middle November play where that thing could start, taking on off. That could start running really big. So we definitely want to be keeping that one on watch. So for me, PXS, I got in on this play at 201. So I was in on PXS at 201, and I just locked out today when I got this little dip right here. My main game plan, what I ultimately wanted to do on this stock was be able to hold this stock for tonight. I wanted to hold this stock, and I wanted to close above 325 to 330. If PXS closed above 325 to 330, I would have 110% swung this overnight, and I was looking for a gap up. We have not seen a gap up yet. We have not seen a gap up yet. Now let's look at some of the biggest rips, the biggest spikes, the biggest pops. All right, so let's go back in stocking shipping history. I don't know, whichever way you want to reverse those words, you know what the heck I'm talking about. So DCIX, you could see, gap up, big time spike, gap up, big time spike, gap up. They love to get these big gap ups, these big rips. Let's look at TOPS, another big one of last year. What we have here is TOPS. A nice big spike, massive gap up. Nice big spike, massive gap up. All right, awesome. DRYS, the biggest one we ever saw, that was 2 years ago, $5 to $120. Guys, I'm fired up right now. If you guys can't tell, I'm super pumped at this moment just because, one, I just locked in almost $30,000 in 24 hours. And number two, the amount of money that's coming this month is going to be huge. So, DRYS, you can see, we have not really any sort of gap up, maybe a little gap up, but then the massive gap up, which led to the big time climb. We could still be seeing that big time gap up, that big time rip on PXS coming on up. So that's why I'm thinking potentially on hopping back in on PXS, maybe for a potential swing. I'm still debating that one. I want my emotions to kind of calm down a little bit because the last thing I want to do is trade when I'm emotional because obviously I'm pretty psyched up right now at this moment, just locking in that profit. Now, obviously, I could have locked in a little bit more. I could have locked in more if I locked in up at 368. There was a point that I was up around $43,000. Right before lunch hours, up around 43,000. Then it came back down. I sold on the dip because I got nervous it was going to crash. So I locked in around 27,000. If I kept holding, I could have been up about 33,000 right now. So, it was definitely one of my biggest trades. It was one of my biggest trades for sure. But at the same time, it was one of my most profitable trades. So with that being said, you just want to check this out again. I was in on PYX. I had a total of 26,850 shares, and I was able to bank right here, $27,647. Ow! That is awesome. That is absolutely great, guys. And that fires me up so much right there to be able to see that huge profit come on in. But what gets me more excited is I know a lot of you guys are in on PXS right now still. Got in either yesterday or today. I know some people just hopped in maybe at $3, and I know some people may not even be in this play yet. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It is currently November 1st. We have so much to come up in the near future, and we are only getting started, as you guys know. Now, with that being said, there's going to be a lot of profits. There's going to be a lot of money to be made, and I hope you guys are ready to bank. And I think PXS, baby, it may just be warming up for this afternoon. But other than that, I hope everyone, again, has a great afternoon. I'm super pumped up, as you guys can tell. Just putting in the work, studying past chart history patterns really pays off. Study up. This is what it's all about. I'm excited to see what this future holds.